I'm sure there've got to be some moms out there who felt like they're just, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. I lost it. And one morning I kind of did. I snapped at my son Carlin. And I think it was because I was running late, and so he wanted to talk to me about something, and I was just like, I don't have time. Ah! I think I probably went on a tangent, which typically sometimes happens. I get mad at one thing, but then I'm really angry about a whole bunch of other stuff, and now it's just like, this is a perfect time to just lay it all out for y'all. Like, I'm mad about this, and this, and now while I'm gone to work, y'all figure it out. And then God dealt with me, and he asked me a really simple question. He's like, why are you angry? Really think about it. Everyone who's watching, ask yourself, go back to that moment. Why were you angry? For me, it's because I didn't wake up early enough, because I didn't go to bed early enough. And then I spent too much time getting ready in the morning because I didn't do my nighttime routine. And then this was the problem. And this was the problem, this and this and this and this and this. And God, in his still, small, gentle, quiet voice just said, okay, so what can we do to prevent this from happening next time? And he just began to give me a strategy. So today I want to discuss the subject of anger management with a fellow YouTuber and friend of mine, Tam Michelle. She has an amazing channel right here on YouTube called the Momprenuer Plug. It is so awesome. Be sure you guys check it out. I will leave a link somewhere in here at some point. I just really felt that God wanted me to do a video on anger, and specifically for moms who are angry, because I know I snap maybe one too many times, and it's not helping the situation. So how can we prevent this, fix this, and overcome this? You can look at the situation and ask, what can I do differently so that this doesn't happen next time? But what if you're in a dry place? What if you've also forgotten to make time for yourself? What if you did your nighttime routine and you went to bed on time, but you wake up so drained that you become angry? I really want to shoot over Tam to get her take on this. So, Tam?
Hi guys, I'm Tam with the Momprenuer Plug, and let's go ahead and get into this topic. So if you are angry and you find yourself lashing out on your children, you have to ask yourself, what's going on with me? And one of the things that I've had to figure out for myself is a lot of times you have to treat yourself like you would a child. Okay, he's crying, he's fussy, or she's crying or she's fussy. Okay, she could be hungry, she could be sleepy, she could be needing some attention, right? It could be a lot of different things. So with me, I have found when I find myself lashing out and getting angry with my children, 9 times out of the 10, it's because I need some time. I need some time to myself, some time to just woosah, right? We have to make sure we are taking care of ourselves so we can be the best mothers that we can be for our children. If we're spending so much time boom, 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 doing this and doing that, and you look up and I'm lashing out on my kids out of nowhere, and I'm lashing out on my kids, then I have to ask myself, have you had time to yourself today? Have you just had 5 minutes to woosah, sis? Okay, and if you haven't, that's probably why you're lashing out, or at least one of the things. So that's my suggestion to you. Take a mental break and check yourself. All right, I'm yelling at the kids. Okay, now I done got to cuss words. Okay, Lord. Yeah, I probably need to take a beat. I probably just need to have a moment to myself and get myself together. And guess what, sis? That's okay. Give yourself grace to just need a moment. It's okay. It's nothing wrong with that. God gives you that same grace. So give it to yourself, okay? You got this.
Yes, thank you, Tam. Go, girl. It's definitely really important for you to make time for yourself and for you to have those routines as well. So I mentioned earlier that I asked God for a strategy, and I encourage each and every one of you to seek him and ask him, Lord, give me a strategy. How do you want me to manage this household to glorify you? How do you want me to be the mother that you've called me to be? And Lord, how do you want me to take time for myself so I can be refueled and replenished by you. I know for me, it's putting things that I need to do into 3 categories. You have green, which is super important and has to get done today. You have red, which is important, but I don't necessarily have to be the one to do it. I can delegate that to someone else. And then you have gold, which is your legacy. This is things that are going to improve the culture in your household, are going to improve the relationships that you have with your children. They're going to just leave a wonderful legacy. So for me, I plan an hour to do, something in the green category, and then another hour something in the gold category. And then I make sure at the beginning of the day I delegate anything that's in the red column to my mom or to Carlin. Most of the time I don't really delegate much, and I think that's my own fault because I am somewhat of a control freak, but not really control freak, but just a little. But it really, really, really is important to know what things you can delegate and actually delegate them. Don't feel like you have to do everything. And just alternating these tasks, green and gold and green and gold and green and gold, just makes me feel more accomplished, makes me feel more well-rounded. So I'm not only focusing on bills and mail and cleaning and this, but I'm also, teaching Carlin, hey, this is how mommy does the bills, or, hey, I want to have some fun time with you. Sticking that in there somewhere so it's well balanced. Do what you have to do. Make sure you work some fun time in there as well, and some uplifting time in there as well. And don't feel bad if you don't get everything done on your list. Whatever you don't get to, push it to the next day. If it's something that's time sensitive, like it has to be done today, of course do that first before you do any of your other green stuff or any of your gold stuff. Like, definitely do the most important things first. But even with having those really awesome routines and the mommying routines or the work routines, it's good to take a break from those routines as well. So I want to shoot back over to Tam and get her take on why we shouldn't stay constantly in mommy mode.
Yes, I agree. There are so many different ways that we can prevent outbursts. And one of the ways that I prevent having outbursts like that is checking myself to make sure that I'm not in constant mommy mode. And what I mean by that is when you spend most of your day doing things as a mother or as a wife, you can lose sight of who you are as a person. Your identity is not in your motherhood. Your identity is in who you are as a woman of God in Christ. Your identity should mirror God. And that has nothing to do with you as a mother. It should affect how you are as a mother, right? But it shouldn't have anything to do with you as a mother. You are a person first. You are a woman first. And so when you find yourself in constant mommy mode, constantly cooking, cleaning, worrying about finances, making sure the kids have their lunch packs, making sure, the house is clean or spotless, or making sure we have enough toothpaste in the cabinets, making sure we have tissue and all of those things. At some point, you're going to run out and you find yourself just becoming a robot. And so one of the things that I do to prevent that is I make sure I schedule some time, or I make sure I every day have a moment to myself. And just like I mentioned earlier, checking yourself and saying, okay, have I had that moment? Well, one of the ways you can prevent from even have to ask that question is go ahead and schedule it, sis. Go ahead and put it in your schedule and don't feel bad about it. I've had some people say, well, we just have so much to get done. Okay, it'll get done. The dishes will get cleaned eventually, but you can at least schedule 30 minutes for you to woosah, journal, spend some time with the Lord, take a walk, whatever you want to do, watch your favorite show, whatever you want to do, and not feel bad about it. Okay. Sometimes I literally sit in my car. I sit in my car and I scroll. I might sit in my car and just pray. Sometimes I sit in my car and I worship. Sometimes I just sit in my car and stare. And that is enough for me. So I said all that to say, find what works for you, but make sure you schedule it and make sure you do it. And don't feel bad about it. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to make you a better mother. Being super mom doesn't make you a great mom. It makes you a mom who's going to get burnt out. Okay? I'm telling you from experience. There is no such thing as a super mom. But what there is there's such thing as a mom who's doing her very best. And you can do your very best by making sure you schedule out time for yourself. Okay?
Yes. Thank you, Tam. And moms, I want to just remind you, like, it's so important to communicate how you feel, be it to your husband or to your parents, and definitely to your children. It's so important to let them know, like, I'm human, I get tired. I'm not Superwoman. So the Lord had me put a plan into place to help improve communication here. And this plan was just the one that I was already using at work. And I saw how effective it was. And God was just like, hey, why don't you use it here too? And I'm like, oh, yes. It's not a perfect plan, but it is making it easier for us to communicate. So I'm just going to share some of those tips with you. So try having a complaints and solutions box. It's not just a complaints box. It's not just a suggestion box. But if someone's complaining, they also need to come up with a solution. So it's not just complaining. Then having family meetings. So important. Oh, I forgot to schedule one. See, it's okay. We forget things sometimes, but you just get back on it when you remember you're supposed to do it. I need to schedule that today. Having family meetings just really helps the whole family to stay focused on the goal for this month or this quarter or this year. Having family meetings just allows everyone to be reminded of this is why we do this and this is why we don't do this, or this is why we don't order pizza every Friday because we want to save money, because we want to go to Disney World, whatever it is. Then have fun goals and fun rewards. So we have a reward chart that keeps track of anything that's done around the house. So like when my mom washes dishes, she just puts her initial and that counts as a point. Whoever has the most points at the end of the month gets a treat. Whoever has the most points at the end of the quarter gets to pick our family outing that we do once a quarter. That helps us to save money, but it also gives us something to work towards as well. Like we're not just cleaning dishes because they're dirty. Plus, it's just a way for things to get done around the house without me nagging people to do them. Winner, chicken dinner. Woo! Or tofu. Your family needs to know how you feel and how they can help. It is so important not to keep all of those feelings bottled up. Again, it's important for them to know that you're still human. It's good to let them know that you're not just a mom, and that family meeting is an opportunity for you to really express yourself. Let them know how you're feeling this week. Again, it's so important for you to communicate that because there's so much more to you than motherhood. And I want to shoot back over to Tam to get her take on this last point.
And I just want to say thank you so much, Charity, for having me on here. I'm super excited to be a part of this because I'm very big on uplifting mothers and making sure mothers have what they need to be what they need to be. And so I think it's important that we recognize that our identity does not belong to motherhood. Our identity is in Christ and who we are as women of God, not a mother, not a wife. And thank you so much, Charity, for having me. I'm super excited. And you guys, make sure you continue to watch her videos. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. She has some amazing content on here. And until next time.
And this isn't just for mommies. This is for whoever is managing the household and taking care of the kids most of the time. I really want this to be for you, and I believe God has a word for you. Remember, God created you first, and then he gave you a purpose. So if you don't take care of you, how are you going to be able to fulfill your purpose? I hope that this really helps you. I hope that it blesses and encourages you. I hope that God would just give you a strategy and that he would really show you how to prevent anger. I hope this helps you to be more organized. And like Joyce Meyer says, I really hope that you are able to start enjoying everyday life. So you can check out my girl Tam's channel right over here, the Momprenuer plug. And over here you can check out some of my other videos that help moms just like you. I thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do and turn on those notifications.